This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd. President Joe Biden on Thursday signed into law the $1.9 trillion relief package that he said will help the United States defeat the coronavirus and nurse the economy back to health. Some checks to Americans could begin arriving this weekend. The signing came just hours before Biden delivers his first primetime address since taking office, aiming to steer the nation toward a hungered-for sentiment, hope. AP's Sagar Meghani has more.
The White House says the president's been editing the speech for a week, looking for the right tone. He said yesterday he'll be honest with the nation about the pandemic's toll and trouble to come, but also wants Americans to know they'll get through this.
There's real reason for hope, folks.
Spokeswoman Jen Psaki says it'll be a balance of optimism and reality.
We are still in the middle of a war with the pandemic.
And the president's aim is to let people know exactly what the administration's done and will do, and what more Americans will need to do. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
The number of Americans filing claims for unemployment benefits remains high, but it is heading down. AP's Ben Thomas reports.
The Labor Department reports applications for unemployment aid dropped by 42,000 last week to 712,000. While still high by historical standards, it is the lowest number of claims since early November, evidence that fewer employers are cutting jobs as the number of confirmed coronavirus cases drop, and other signs suggest the economy is improving. All told, 4.1 million Americans are receiving traditional state unemployment benefits, and with federal programs factored in, more than 20 million people are currently collecting some form of jobless aid. Ben Thomas, Washington.
For more on these stories and the rest of the day's news, visit our website. This is VOA News. Real-world data from Israel suggest Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine is 94% effective in preventing asymptomatic infections. Reuters' Conway G. Gittins reports.
Analysis from the live data collected between mid-January and early March also showed the vaccine was 97% effective in preventing symptomatic disease, severe disease, and death. The study showed unvaccinated individuals were 44 times more likely to develop COVID-19 symptoms and 29 times more likely to die than those who received the vaccine. Data out of Israel show Pfizer's vaccine is also proving to be effective against the highly infectious coronavirus variant first discovered in Britain. Researchers are eager to see how Pfizer's dose stacks up against another variant first discovered in South Africa. But so far, too few Israelis have been exposed to that to draw conclusions.
That's Reuters' Conway G. Gittins. Myanmar's military junta accused deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi of corruption on Thursday and defended their handling of anti-coup protests. But as Reuters' Lucy Fielder reports, at least 8 people were killed when the army opened fire on demonstrators.
Spokesman Brigadier General Zu Min Tun said Suu Kyi took payments worth $600,000, as well as gold, while in government. According to complaints made by a former minister that an anti-corruption committee is investigating. He also said security forces only used force when necessary against demonstrators, but 8 people were killed when they opened fire on anti-coup protesters again on Thursday. Thursday's deaths add to a toll of more than 60 demonstrators killed since the coup of February 1st. That's according to a political prisoners advocacy group. On Wednesday, Amnesty International accused the military of adopting battle tactics and using lethal force against demonstrators. And the UN Security Council condemned the violence and urged the army to show restraint.
That's Reuters' Lucy Fielder. China's ceremonial legislature has endorsed the Communist Party's latest move to tighten control over Hong Kong by reducing the role of its public in picking the territory's leaders. AP's Charles de Ledesma reports.
The National People's Congress voted 2,895 to 0 to endorse changes that would give a pro-Beijing committee power to appoint more of Hong Kong's lawmakers, reducing the number elected by the public. The measure adds to a crackdown against a protest movement in Hong Kong calling for greater democracy. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
You can find more at voanews.com. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd, VOA News.